right, we're going first in this game, really opening up really strong with Lady Debug in the opening hand. Lady Debug, we're going to get into our Balinks, turning on our Code of Soul, which is really good. And with that, we're going to use Sanctuary as well as Code of Soul here. Code of Soul, you want to make sure you proc that effect to make sure that you're able to quick or link summon it for full material with one material, just so you make sure you can do that. I use Sunlight Wolf instead of Wicked here because we already have Weasel in hand. Also, Wicked would have been the first play to go for there. Princess is here. Using the effect of Princess, we're going to get the Code of Soul and get ourselves out our boy, the main Moss monster that really changed everything in this deck, Raging Phoenix, giving you the ability to search for your trap card, Salamangreat Rage. Searchable pop 4 as well as procking Roar, so you also have Negate. So that's 2 traps right there, just with one huge monster, which is really nice. We still have Weasel in hand, which we're gonna have to just link off for one. I mean, an extra Balinks on the field isn't bad. Having an extra material for Princess pops and stuff to trigger your second Phoenix isn't that bad at all. We do open up with the Maxi, which is really nice. So my opponent's gonna be playing under Maxi. It looks like he's playing Kash. I'm gonna use Princess right away. Maybe a little bit of a error in my ways, but we're gonna get our Raging Phoenix back as well, just so we have another proc of our effect. I'm also gonna negate the the Salamangreat Roar. I honestly should have waited to pop until he used an effect of some sort, but it looks like my opponent is on Snake Eyes Kash, so he's already got to resolve all of his Kash engine, and now he's going into the Snake Eyes engine when we're left with not very many interactions left. I mean, he is under Max C, so I'm not really worried per se, but Effect Veiler is here to stop the Poplar in its tracks, and Raging Phoenix is going to get us the will for a bonus play for our next turn. Our opponent is playing Birch. Birch won't really do us anything in this situation. He has to do that during his next turn. Hita is pretty good here though. Hita giving the effect to be able to special my Raging Phoenix. But that leaves a lot of cards on field, so Rage is turned on right now. I'm going to pop everything except for that. He'll get a card to hand, which is fine. Kurikura. So we'll lose one monster, but that's completely fine. He takes out our Princess. Honestly, that's kind of what you want. We draw into the Will of Fire, or Salamangreat of Fire. And he's also going to take our Raging Phoenix, but that's fine. I'm not in danger at all, but especially with this hand. We're going to use Will to just have on field, just in case we need it. I'm going to try to get the best effect of Will going before I do anything. Jack Jaguar in hand isn't that bad either. We're gonna use Spinny to get himself out 2 materials. We're gonna get out our boy Sunlight Wolf. We're gonna use the effect of Will. Instead of going for something a little bit different, I'm gonna be able to recycle the Raging Phoenix and Grave to get it back out, but we're gonna go into Pyro Phoenix, kind of show off the ability of this combo. We're gonna make him special summon a monster just to take extra damage, as well as to pop both of our Pyro Phoenixes. We're going to use Balinks to protect ours, but our opponent's is still going to get popped, and we're going to make him take some damage, get our Pyro Phoenix back on the field. We're in a really good spot. Bunch of huge monsters on the field. We're going to use Pyro Phoenix now to board wipe, and Pyro Phoenix is such a cool card. I really enjoy the addition of the second Link monster. But Flamebird is here to try to give him something, but we do have the Called By in hand due to the Maxi. Leaves it with 1 card in hand and a huge board of monsters. He surrenders before we go to battle, and that is it. Alright, another duel for you guys. This hand is very interesting. Silent Mining is a go-to, and Roar is a very easily pitchable card because you can recycle it very easily. But Lady Debug is here getting us Code of Soul. This is really full combo. Lady Debug and Gazelle is really what you need to fully complete this combo. Phalanx is here. This is where it gets tricky. Our opponent does have the Gamma. Luckily for us, we did open up the Will. So this hand is still very salvageable. I did kind of prematurely do the Gazelle, and we got Jack Jaguar instead because we already have our other guy in rotation. We're going to use that Code of Soul, and we're going to see what's in our opponent's hand just to make sure that we're fully capable of everything. It looks like my opponent is playing Swordsoul. Using that triple attack just to make sure we're playing around Nibiru and Imperm and Baylor, just to make sure we're putting ourselves in the best spot. Now this is really cool line with the Will of Fire. Now if I was experimenting, I wasn't currently playing Mirror, but with everything I had access to, Mirror would have been a really good pick too, because it also instantly special summons itself as well. Now we're going to use Sunlight Wolf and Jack Jaguar to get a card back to hand. We're going to get Phalanx back just so we have another double link Phalanx just in case. The only bad thing about this is with Princess, or with Sanctuary not being in rotation, it's a lot harder to double link with Raging Phoenix. We're still going to be able to double link during our turn, which is nice, but for some reason Raging Phoenix's second effect, a banish effect, relies on the Sanctuary. Now we're going to get ourselves out our Roar, and unfortunately it sets it right to field. I wish it would let me add it to hand. Very predictable what my two trap cards are, but no big deal. We're going to keep Mirage Stallion on field as well because it's a pretty good trigger. Now, I was really overthinking the board. With Fashuda and this card in hand, I was kind of making sure that he couldn't send my Link 4 to Gray. It did win me the game, but I felt really overthinking it. I felt like I was overthinking it. Alright, Gazelle, Jack Jaguar. Our opponent opened up with a called by, or Maxi. We opened up with a called by, so we don't have to worry about that. Royal Rare Maxi, I must say. Very interesting. We're going to negate that, and we're going to get ourselves out Jack Jaguar to start off the combo. Jack's going to be able to get us our Phalanx, which is really nice. Phalanx is going to get us the Sanctuary, as well as Gazelle is going to get us really to feel like Roar is still a bit, or I don't know if Roar is really the pick yet. We do go for Roar. Okay, I had to think about it. I was like, I don't know if I have a third monster to get out, but I forget that I just used Jack Jaguar. So we're completely good. We're going to recycle that Gazelle back to deck, and we're going to get ourselves Jack Jaguar back into the graveyard with our Princess. Princess effect, we're going to put Sunlight Wolf on the field. It's going to be very temporary. And we're still going to get out a pretty full combo, even out without Code of Soul. This is kind of showing if you can't get access to your Code of Soul, there's still ways to do it. And the big way of doing it is with Jack Jaguar. Alright, Raging Phoenix, we're going to get ourselves out our Roar as well as Rage. We also have an Impermanent hand, which is really nice. So 3 traps, 1 big monster, as well as Princess. We don't have Weasel, unfortunately, either. Looks like my opponent is playing some kind of Gate Guardian deck. I also want to stop him from drawing cards, so I'm going to Imperm that. Also trying to play it safe. I'm also worried significantly about Horus. Horus is a terrible matchup because Raging Phoenix needs to be destroyed to proc its battle effect. So Horus is a big counter with King Sarcophagus. Looks like with the destruction and the Imperm, that was enough to completely stop my opponent. He's going to set a monster. We're going to mill for 3. We don't hit anything in the mill, but that doesn't matter. Raging Phoenix is going to come out, getting us another card to hand, which is really nice. We're going to get ourselves our Gazelle into rotation with that as well. Our opponent's going to max C here. This is the seal of the game. I'm going to roar. I don't think giving you resources, even if I think it's the end of the duel, matters. I'd rather get rid of my negate. He surrenders there. Never know what that face down will be. And it was a good attempt on his part. Alright, going first. This is an interesting hand. No special gimmicks. Salamangrate Circle. I think Salamangrate of Fire was the big pick. Could have been wrong, but we're going to use it to get out our boy Balinx. And Balinx is going to get us out Gazelle as well as Spinny in the future. I'm looking at my hand and I'm really trying to decide here what's my go-to plays, but we'll see. We're going to get Roar still into rotation, and Spinny is going to decrease and increase just to get himself out. We're going to use these two to get out our Mirage Stalio. Unfortunately, I had to use the Will in the beginning of the combo, but we're not in a bad situation at all. That still gets me Weasel into rotation. Weasel is a really good counter pick card. I'm glad I'm going to be able to use that in this duel. Balinx in this, it's pretty simple. You're always going to go into Raging Phoenix. A turn 2 play could be Pyro Phoenix. Pyro Phoenix is a really good card. I like to use it as a follow-up play, but it could be a really good bounce back as well. Now I'm looking, Raging Phoenix is fully here. We're going to have ourselves Salamangrate Roar as well, which is really nice. I feel like keeping the other two cards, my Will and Triple Tack for next turn, was the better play, which I did. I could have played Will and extended even further. Looks like my opponent is on Mikanko. Now Mikanko going second, this is their preferred matchup. I'm going to negate the Ritual. The Ritual is a UR, and the effect, it gives it a lot of searching capabilities. Now my opponent also is going to activate 2 equip spells right away. Misspoke there. I'm going to take out both of the equip spells with my Rage. Now that could be a misplay, all things considered, but this is what happened. He skipped his battle phase even going second, and he just ended his turn, and that caused him to surrender. So I still had the called by, and I really had a really good follow-up for my next turn. I didn't feel threatened by one more monster. It was a really good duel. Alright, going main phase 1, we're going to use Circle to get out Mirror. Now, this is when I really decided Mirror was worth it, especially with consistency and everything. Mirror is a big card. And Mirror getting searched by Circle is a free summon, and it also procs Gazelle. I'm doing all of this without using my normal, so I feel like Mirror is worth a pick. People were telling me it wasn't at first when I was experimenting on stream, but I decided to put Mirror on here just because the amount of hand traps and everything, you are not in the craziest of situations. We're going to use Will to trigger Wicked. Wicked's going to banish Mirror to get Weasel, which is another extender. We still have a normal. I wish I could do what I want without using Fire as my normal, because I could easily get out an SP Little Knight if I just had one more summon with Raging Phoenix. Unfortunately, but we're in kind of a pickle. But we'll handle it. We're going to use these guys to get out our Raging Phoenix. We have Circle in hand too, which I feel like is another piece of interaction we can add. Making ourselves unaffected by monster effects. And I remember this duel. This duel was a good one. Fire is going to get us a Spinny into rotation too, just to, you know, get it in the graveyard. Not a big deal. And Weasel and our boy, Salamangrate, a Fire is going to get a Sunlight Wolf out just as another material. And we're going to set everything we have. I'm keeping this Circle as either a search protection or making our monster invulnerable. My opponent's going to start off with Kash. Now, Kash really has a good matchup against me, so I'm going to be forced to use the Roar on the Kash. I could have resolved the Rage instead, but I felt like Roar was better. Now my opponent's completely pivoting into a whole different strategy. He's playing Rhinoheart, meaning he's switching into his Tearlament. He's going to mill that fusion one, using that King of the Swamp in the grave. He's going to get out Kikalos. Now, we have a duel on our hands here. I'm seeing a lot of things. He's going to mill too. He doesn't hit anything crazy on the mill, but that's going to trigger Kash Tearlament's special, which is going to mill 3, and sending Kikalos as well is going to also mill 5. So that was 10 mills so far, just in that one little combo he just did. So we're gonna see what he can get. He gets a lot of adds. He's gonna target a trap. He gets to add another trap, as well as he's gonna search a monster from deck. So he's in a really good spot. We're gonna use Pyro Phoenix just to get a big body on the board, triggering our Phoenix. 4600 is a hard monster for Tearlament to beat. They're really capping out at 3500, but he's also going to get himself a lot of interaction here. Now I'm kind of saving rage until I absolutely have to use it. Now that mill was really good as well. He can banish as well as draw card. He's really hitting a lot of his search milling, but I'm keep on checking that graveyard to see if he's hitting any of his interaction cards in the grave, and I didn't see any. He's going to get that search to get another Rhinoheart, and he's going to go into an Xyz play of Duhares, or Dugares. I shouldn't even attempted to pronounce that. We'll probably be getting butchered in the comments. But he's going to draw 2, and he's going to use Polymerization in hand to get himself out Kaleidoheart. Now I'm hoping Kaleidoheart he'll hit my Link too, but he decides to go for the better play in going for my trap. Now this will force me to use my trap. Maxi was kind of a misplay here on his part. He could have done more with it if he saved it. I think he misinterpreted what my trap does, but it doesn't special anything. So he's not going to get any adds off this Maxi, really. Kikalos, he's going to get his special summon negate, though. So we're still good. I was really hoping I could use that trap to negate or pop all of his back row before the beginning of his turn. But, you know, it's not the worst case scenario, but we're going to see. He gets Kaleidoheart back. And he's going to summon his Kash Tearlament, and he's going to go into a Link 2, he's going to go into an SP. Well, this is a really good board for him because we know both of those cards are traps as well. Now, going for the circle here, the reasoning being is that if he pops something, I will get Gazelle special summon to the field. Now, I end up not doing it that way because I decide to protect my Balinx. Using Balinx, I decide to protect my Raging Phoenix. Now, so he didn't get any adds or anything. I'm going to send Will, and this will banish my Raging Phoenix. I didn't know how this interaction would work, and it works extremely in his favor. We're going to get ourselves out another Raging Phoenix using the effect of Sanctuary, which means we're going to be able to add a card. And Weasel's going to also trigger special summoning card to our opponent's field. He's going to choose to negate our Raging Phoenix ad, but we do have Gazelle, and Gazelle's going to get negated by Ricolos. Now, we're still in a really good spot with Weasel being able to trigger a lot of effects here shortly, because it's going to special summon a Phoenix to his field, and he's also going to trigger my Princess. Now, the way I misplayed, unfortunately, is that I shouldn't have targeted Raging Phoenix. I need to learn that combo a little bit better. I should have targeted anything except for Raging Phoenix to special Raging Phoenix. What we learned from our play, we used Ash on that Kaleidoheart to get him another mill, but it didn't work out in his favor. But we're going to get our cards out. We got Raging Phoenix as well as Salamangreat Spinny. We're going to use Spinny here to battle, go for the 300 damage, go for the 2700. We're going to use this effect to try to trigger it. I failed miserably. Like I said, I need to learn that interaction. He skips his draw phase, surrenders, nothing left for him. On to the last game of the stream, or the video. Alright, going first, this is a very interesting hand, but I'm doing my calculations in my head. I'm like, hey, it might still work. So Balinx is here. We're going to use Balinx to get out our Sanctuary, and we're going to use Code of Soul in hand to use his effect, so we're going to be able to link off at any time this turn. We're going to also use Mirage Stalio to get a little bit more cards into interaction, and the best card to do that is Salamangreat of Fire. We're going to get our Gazelle into rotation. We're going to go for 3 right away, going into Princess. Princess is such a really good card in this deck, it's crazy. Princess is going to trigger Gazelle, Gazelle's going to send the Roar, and Princess is going to get us one more piece of interaction, Code of Soul. And we're going to use these two to get our card, Raging Phoenix. You know the drill. Raging Phoenix as well is going to link off himself to get us the Rage. Now I'm looking at my hand. I'm looking really good with Nibiru and Maxi as interaction on my opponent's turn, as well as 2 trap cards as well. I'm really confident with what we're doing here, but we're going to see if it's going to end up working in our favor. Maxi, I forgot to do it right away, which I was thinking in my head that could cost me triple attack. I am now a target for triple attack, which isn't good, but we're going to try our best no matter what. Gold Sarcophagus is a good search card for him. He's going to be able to search Aluber, which Aluber will get him Branded Fusion. As well as Aluber is a negate in the graveyard, which is really handy. So he's going to use Branded Fusion, and I think that was the perfect target for Roar. I'm going to negate the Roar and get that out of the way. And we're going to see our opponent going into Branded Opening by discarding an Aluber to get us out Clem. Clem is also going to be staying in hand. We're going to see him send Serenir into the graveyard to send a trap. And he's going to target the Branded Fusion in hand to add it back. Now this is where I was like, huh? But since I negated activation, he can use Branded Fusion again, unfortunately. And he's going to get himself Albion. Albion is here. Princess is going to try to trigger for it. What I didn't realize is that you can't. He's also has the Tri-Brigade card in hand that is a negate if you control a fusion monster that has Spawn of Albaz in it. He's going to go to battle. He's going to take out my Gazelle. And we're going to see what end phase, really what we can do here. That wasn't the best performance on our part. But using these guys, he's going to be able to fuse again. So we're going to see him go into a card. I'm going to use Rage to stop it though, luckily. Because he needs Spawn of Albaz as a fusion material, so we're good. We survived that little interaction. We're stuck with a Serenir on the field though, which is kind of annoying. But we're going to use Spinny and stuff to get ourselves out. The monster of choice is Pyro Phoenix. It's untargeting destruction, which can out this Albion guy. That was really my best case scenario. So we're going to use Pyro Phoenix to board wipe the board on his side. But Branded Opening is there, and we are going to have to recycle Pyro Phoenixes now to do that again, which is unfortunate. But we're going to use Circle here to get ourselves out of Mirror. I'm really just trying to get monsters on the field, and we're trying to just do our best. Now we're going to use Salamangreat of Fire to destroy himself to trigger the other Raging Phoenix, just to get a little bit more damage on board. So we're going to use that to pop for 2600. Now Aluber is going to negate our effects, and we're going to destroy and hit him for 3300, leaving him with 2100. We're going to link off into an SP Little Knight as another piece of interaction, and we're going to end our turn there. Not much protection we have at this point. He gets a Blazing Cartesia to hand. Me giving that Serenir on field is kind of holding up my board and not really benefiting me at all. But Branded Lost is on board. I think he was attempting to see if he could negate he could do something if I could chain SP to Blazing Cartesia, which I can. I'm gonna chain it, get rid of the Quem. Blazing Cartesia doesn't resolve. We lose Mirror, and we go for Promethean Princess. Raging Phoenix is also going to target Mirror. We're going to get another Raging Phoenix. We're just swarming our board at this point. He's going to use that effect to get his Albion and end his turn. Now he can still contact fuse at any moment, so I have to be prepared. We're going to finally use Serenir as a material. I wanted to get rid of it really bad, so we get Hita. No fires are in his grave though, but he's going to use that Quem to bring back that dragon. That dragon is such a bane to my existence that I have no ways to out it, but we're going to have to deal with it. We're going to destroy the fusion to bait the SP Little Knight into getting rid of the Cartesia. I don't think there was a right pick for that. It does stop the effect, which is nice, as well as Hita's gone, so we still have our Link Zones. We're going to use Raging Phoenix to go into himself again to get a search, which is really good for us. We have a lot of zones pointing in now. Will is also here. This will let him add Blazing Cartesia back to hand, and we're going to use Princess to bring back Pyro Phoenix. Our opponent's going to special a few cards. He's going to try to go for that play again to go for the Fallen of Alba, or the branded fusion. I'm gonna fuse my Pyro Phoenix into a Mirror Jade. That's unfortunate. We're going through it the best way we can here. He keeps on putting that Serenir on my board, which is really annoying. But we're gonna go into a Sunlight Wolf, and Sunlight Wolf is gonna be able to link himself with another material to get out. I'm gonna try to get Salamangreat Rage back into rotation, which is really good. And Rage is going to be able to clear the board in the next turn. Oh, I actually forgot. I just went for Foxy to break Branded Loss. And we're going to go for multiple material summon. Now, I was thinking in my head, if you use this for a link material, it will return a card to hand. But it has to be... I didn't know it had to be a Salamangreat card. So I wasted that. We really burned out all of our resources, but luckily for my opponent ran out of time, so he couldn't chain anything, so that's why. But I also had damage on board. He was really waiting till the last moment, but that's game. Alright guys, so this is the deck list in today's video. A few things. It's very hand trap, runs a lot of hand trap. You're running 3 of pretty much every staple hand trap. I could run more Nib if I wanted to, but I don't. I'm not a big fan of Nib, so I like to run it at 1 as the crossout target. But this deck does really cool interactions and stuff. You saw how the Raging Phoenix just keeps on coming back. Literally, Phoenix is in the name, makes sense. Pyro being able to board wipe on your opponent's turn with Code of Soul now, which is really nice, as well as using Princess and Weasel for Princess interactions. This deck is really good. It's really part of that fire type meta right now with Snake Eyes and Rescue Ace. It definitely can compete with them. Makes sense why Snake Eyes run the Raging Phoenix. I really enjoyed this deck. I was a fan of Salamangreat before the Raging Phoenix, and it just really, these cards just solved a lot of the issues with the deck. The only issue I see with it currently is consistency. There's ways to fix that. You could run more of Wills, but Lady Debug is the better normal in every situation. Even with Wills, Jack is a better normal most of the time. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a comment down below if you guys have any deck suggestions. I'm going to keep on putting out decks. Tomorrow is going to be Blackwing Horus, which I'm really excited to build, but I hope you guys enjoyed the videos here. Thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out, guys.